Stan Gibilisco here with a little band watch. 10-meter CW seems to be wide open. So a lot of Japanese stations coming in on here, so much so. Now that particular station that we're listening to here is in Massachusetts. He's talking to someone in Japan. That's the Japanese station. W1YW, he's pretty close to the bottom of the band there. But there seem to be a lot of stations here, including a pretty massive pileup that I heard, spread out over a fairly wide range of frequencies. Now, it seems to be gone. But this situation here motivated me to the extent that I went up and put my 10-meter stick in the slot on that antenna up there. So it's pretty well matched here on 10 meters. I believe that I heard a JA down here. That's the JH. You kind of stalk these stations. Okay, well, he was calling QRZ specifically for a K0. That's a JH1, that's a Japan. Well, all these are coming over the hill. The hill meaning a big hill that's in the way of all the propagation that would go in that direction. So I'm at a pretty significant disadvantage. Now, and I also heard a guy, that one in Massachusetts, I believe it was him, was talking about his radio, his rig. And he was talking about running a kilowatt and a 7-element Yagi. And here I'm running about a 12-foot vertical with 10 watts over a hill. So I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage, but at least I've got the antenna matched. I'm just not hearing any DX that got him. Giving me 559. Okay, well, I don't know how much of that you could actually make out. Particularly coming over an iPad like this. Some of the resonances, acoustical resonances, don't always agree. You might not have gotten a whole lot out of that. But that is JH0INP. The date is October 29th, 2013. The time that the QSO began was 5:13 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. 10 watts CW output to a 12-foot deck-mounted vertical antenna with the disadvantage of having to go over the hill. JH0INP. That is Japan. I did not get his exact location in Japan, but I got his name as Hiro, H-I-R-O, or Hiro. And that is that. So that's really about all the time that we have here. I don't want to drag this business out a real long time for you. But 10-meter CW is wide open, as evidenced by all of this activity. Now, you're not hearing much up here. You know, I was listening to an ARRL propagation bulletin the other day, and this is just a little bit of a story for you, a little bit of a theory. And one of the propagation reporters was talking about the upcoming sweepstakes contest and how he thought that when you get a real lot of ham radio operators on there operating all at the same time on the high frequency band, that it can actually ionize the ionosphere and make it propagate signals better. So bands that wouldn't normally be open become open. I have an answer to that. I have an answer to that theory. And I'd like to, if I can get his email when they send the bulletin, I'd like to tell him about this. I think that's not true. I do not believe that ham radio operators' signals have sufficient power to do that, even all combined. And even if they did, I don't know that they wouldn't make conditions worse rather than better. We really don't know these things. But I will tell you this. I think the bands are open a lot, and nobody is taking advantage of them because there is just a mass psychology. It's kind of like a vicious circle. Now that is a very loud station. I believe he's a W4. But you might be led to believe that this band was dead. If you tuned up higher like this, you don't hear anything. You might be led to believe that the band is dead when it's really not. And I think that when people get on these contests, they get a little more bold, and they say, heck, let's go up and see how the band is doing. And there's so many more of them, just so many more ears listening, that the probability is that people are going to find out when a band is open. Much more likely they'll find out. As opposed to right now when maybe, I don't know if the World Series is still on, or people might be watching a lot of television, might be doing a lot of other things, like besides sitting down in a nerd cave like I am, listening to a ham radio. Especially on an evening like this. Right now the time is 5:21 p.m., October 29th. That's 23:21 Zulu. Well, that'll be about enough here. I don't really have time to go down on the lower bands, but I'll bet they're open. I mean, it's a pretty good bet they are. And as the ARRL bulletin has been saying, conditions should remain pretty good for a few days. Now I'd just like to go up here and see if... But you see, when the sweepstakes come on, chances are we will get contacts up here. Because people will be listening. Lots more people will be listening and willing to take a chance on it. Even if it's open right now, there just might be nobody who thinks so. I mean, geez, why would you expect 50 megahertz to be open now? Well, I don't know, would you? Stan Gibilisco, W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, saying 73 from the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America. Until next time, so long.